My third speaker is Ahmed elKassas. Please come over.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ahmed elKassas. I'm from Middlesex County College. And today, inshallah, I'll be speaking about the Prophet's mercy. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said in a hadith, Allah did not send me to be harsh or to cause harm, but He sent me to teach and to make things easy. So inshallah, I'll be speaking about mercy, the Prophet's mercy with children, his companions, and his enemies. So with the children, there's a story that we all know about Hassan and Hussein, that whenever they play and they see the Prophet ﷺ prostrating in Salah, they would go on his back, but the Prophet would never get up from Salah and get up from sujood until they come off his back. The reason for this is because he did not want to disturb them from having fun or stop them from playing. Another incident was whenever the Prophet would hear a child crying, he would shorten the prayer. Normally the Prophet would prolong it and make it long. But whenever he hears a child crying, he would make it short so the mother can attend the child. Anas ibn Malik, he served the Prophet for 10 years. And he said that Anas ibn Malik said that the Prophet ﷺ never yelled at him and never scolded him, never said anything mean to him. So now, mercy and kindness with his enemies. You know, there's one story that we all know is the story of Taif, when the Prophet was literally stoned out of the city, and Allah sent an angel, and the angel told him, if you want right now, I can use the two mountains that the city was between to crush them. But the Prophet said no. He said maybe that their children or the children of their children can grow up and they worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's another story where a woman was traveling and she happened to see the Prophet, not knowing that he is the Prophet of Allah, and she asked him for help. So the Prophet, he gave her his help. So as they were traveling, as he was walking with her, he was carrying her luggage, he was helping her, she started talking bad about him, not knowing that the Prophet was literally helping her with her luggage. So she started saying that this Muhammad, was brainwashing the youth and telling them that God is one, that Allah is one, and he's corrupting the youth. But the entire time, the Prophet ﷺ was just smiling. And at the end of the trip, when they were about to part, the woman asked the Prophet, what is your name? And when he said Muhammad, she just accepted Islam right there. She didn't say nothing, like she accepted Islam. Like, this story is so amazing because the Prophet was just smiling the entire time. He didn't even respond back. He didn't even defend himself. So, kindness with his companions. We all know the story of the archers in the Battle of Badr. When the Prophet told them to stay at a certain point so the enemy would not come around and attack the Muslims. But when the archers saw that the Muslims were winning, they rushed to the battlefield. And an army came around, led by Al-Wali, and they attacked the Muslims, and that was a great loss for the Muslims because the Prophet was hurt. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah recorded this incident. He said, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ فاغفر لهم فاعف عنهم واغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين. This means, and with the mercy of Allah, you are lenient with them. So pardon them and forgive them and seek advice from them in the matter. And if you do so, then trust Allah. Surely Allah loves those who trust Him. So the way we can implement this in our lives is whenever we deal with hardship or anyone who tries to come at us in a mean way, we should act with kindness and not yell at them or say mean things to them. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.